Jeffy, I am. Welcome to Okay, let's talk about it. Welcome. Got a topic for today. My topic for today has something to do with respect. As far as respecting your elders, how you feel about respecting your elders, more so how you respect your elder black gentleman. That's what I mean to say. And I say that simply because I think the respect level of young men nowadays, there's a lack of. But I also think there's a pride that they possess that as older gentlemen we have to respect. So with that being said, I'm originally from Kansas City, right? And where I'm from, when I was growing up, a gentleman entering his 40s or late 50s, I mean early 50s, late early 60s, those gentlemen, they really were respected in our neighborhoods, no matter if they were drug addicts. But most of the gentlemen were hardworking citizens. They either worked down for GM down in Fairfax, or they worked for the city, like delivering mail, for the trash company, stuff like that. And I seen that growing up. Hardworking men, and also when they reached this age, they usually had the same things. Something, it's a stereotype I'm gonna give you, but this is what I seen living in Kansas City and how the older gentlemen got down. Now, a gentleman say in his mid 50s thinking about retirement, usually those gentlemen, they either had a nice, a nice car, usually a car they drove, and on Sundays we pull the old schools out, the cars that were they don't really have to be fully restored, but that's what my friends do. But the older gentlemen did that when I was young, and they either lived with their family, they either owned their home or was renting, and they lived decent lives. They used to come to the club every now and then, you know, and then leave, be out in the parking lot. But how we seen older gentlemen in their 40s and 50s was a positive image, no matter what they did. And Kansas City is a place where, it's not the easiest place in the 80s and 90s. So going back in and out the city as I am, I feel the same respect and love that for my neighborhood, not my hood, my neighborhood, and all throughout Kansas City, on the Kansas side and on the Missouri side. I fit the profile of an older gentleman. Apparently, I have my grays. When I go out, I'm dressed like a gentleman. I think I be on some fly stuff. I'm not wearing skinny pants. I'm not doing any of that. But that's just my personal preference. And if I'm on the Missouri side, a lot of times I might get sized up by the younger crowd. But then it's always, "Oh, what's up, OG? How you doing, man? How you doing, brother?" And then when I'm on the Kansas side, where I'm originally from, it's a whole different type of love, because you can tell if you from Missouri or you from Kansas. You can tell if your age range by the way you dress. My generation, we all bail in khakis, no matter if they Dickies or anything. We always wear khakis, Rockports, Rockport boots, Air Max, something like that with a Kansas City hat or just a regular hat and a Stafford white T-shirt. That's the general look for anybody getting off work, just want to chill. It's T-shirt, khakis, and some fly on your feet. Jewelry wasn't a thing, but the older cats. And one thing you can tell my age group is I don't have gold and diamonds in my mouth, but that was really big, especially when I was coming out of school in '93. Not the pull-ins, but the whole, the slugs in your mouth, beautiful work, princess cut, diamonds, open face, nuggets, whatever you can imagine. People drilling diamonds in their teeth now. We've been doing that in Kansas City. But anyway, when I'm out getting gas, sometimes a young brother might see who I am, and I know they family, or they may have seen me around, or just being an older gentleman and how I come in and greet everybody. I might, they might buy what I got sitting on the table. I was in a sports bar a couple weeks ago. Me and a young lady friend of mine, and me and baby was sitting there, and some young guys, maybe 32, 33. They know my nephew, so I don't really know him. But they paid for our meals, sent some drinks over, and I had to send the drinks back because I don't drink alcohol when I'm out and about. I don't really drink alcohol, period. So it's just a different type of love and respect that you get in your own neighborhood. And, being a black man, it feels good going back in these places where people are, they gentrifying these places, but they scared to come at the moment. And I love it. I love being in the skin I'm in. It's pride in my city. So the reason for this video is I'm leaving the city. I'm about an hour and a half out in the suburbs where my daughters reside, and I'm at a gas station. It's an older guy, and at the front of the line, I shake my head to him because I know him. It's a guy named Tony. Now, Tony is a guy who worked all his life for the local chicken factory. And he don't drink, don't do any drugs. He smoked Black and Miles. Well, he was dressed in a nice silk shirt like the Cuban gentlemen wear. He had some nice khakis on and some Stacy Adams. And I already knew what kind of time he was on. He had a nice. His wife was out in the car. They was dressed up. They were going two-stepping, right? So I'm in the back of the line, and there's some other gentlemen. Maybe I think the youngest maybe was 27, and he dates one of my in-laws. So, I come in, I dap them up, whatever. So Tony is getting his stuff, and I don't know what happened with his bank card, so he pulls out money, and they instantly said, "Hey man, hey man, you wasting our time, man. Come on, old man, this and that." So I was like, "Hey man, chill, chill, chill. Y'all don't know this gentleman." It's like, "Oh, OG, you right, you right, you right." So Tony left, and when he went outside, this old guy drives a Tesla, right? He's a hard working man. Ever since I known him, he's always been a gentleman. He's always worked hard. Know this guy. So he went out. So I turned to dude and I was like, man, we have to give somebody respect. That's if you calling me an OG, that's my OG. And I gave him the rundown how we used to go skating and how he used to run the skating rink and throw parties and stuff. And they were amazed. So when we got out to the parking lot, they drive Hellcats and they live in a townhouse, and you know, and it's funny because it's five individuals in a three-bedroom townhouse. What sense does that make? It don't make none. They got them high bills and they loving them high bills. But the conversation was pretty good, so I wanted to ask what they thought about Tony and why they was going hard on him. They look at people, older black gentlemen as and these guys are black. They think when you get in your 40s, you start slowing down. When you hit 50, you just totally washed. And when you hit 60, they think that we should just go ahead and stop driving, just retire, go to nursing homes. It's a funny dynamic, right? So I really wanted to know, and they was like, "Man, OG, you different." And I was like, "Why you keep calling me OG?" I was like, "Everything I did, I met y'all, because they in-law. One of them days my in-laws. I met these guys when they was in the 10th grade, and we used to work together, maybe 10 years ago, maybe. So, no, yeah, maybe 8, 9 years. So when we got to more talking, the conversations were really, really cool. These gentlemen work, they got their head on straight. It's 2004, right? I mean 2024. The reason they gave me for uh, their thoughts on older black gentlemen are that when we get this age, because I'm about to turn 50, when we get this age, we are haters. When we get this age, we try to copy and dress like them. When we get this age, our bodies go downhill. We can't hold erections and sexually, and in turn, that makes us older guys trick on women. And I laugh because it's funny what they think. And I say, well, you all know me, so what do you think? Oh, you different. And I kept asking why I'm different. And they say, well, you fell on your head, you had an accident. I was like, but that does not make any sense. And we laughed about it. And the truth is, what they see in the suburbs, a lot of them brothers out there, some of their fathers, some of their uncles, they don't have the marching band experience, the inner city experience, eating soul food, being around people at the mosque or, real street things going on. They're used to a whole different environment. They got grass in their yards. Everybody has grass in their yards. But I start seeing like their experience of a guy from the inner city of Kansas City is different from the suburbs of Kansas City, and it's a line drawn. And okay, and I start understanding the conversation, right? And they gave me a few gems to run with. They was telling me that the older guys my age, I'm one of the few, besides some of their parents, their uncles, that really stop and talk to them. If I see them out, I might stop, holler at them because I might be in something different. I might could sneak up on them because I keep I have, but never mind. That's a different story. But they think I'm kind of cool, and my kids, they have relationships with my kids and friendships with my children, and I'm an active father, so I can understand where they come from. And then one thing I also noticed too, like besides guys of my age, coming back giving advice to them, and giving them advice about the city life when they go to the city where they eat, things of that nature. I'm never giving them anything negative, but just something to put on their brain so they can process it later. And they also told me like the images they see in their neighborhood. A lot of these brothers have soccer moms, or a lot of these women don't work. It's a good industry out here, and it made me think. Then on TV, they always talk about the shows they like. It's always gangster this, gangster that, and they about 40 minutes away from everything they talk about. And the images they see, all the buffoonery on TV, on the TV shows, on the internet, I start to think, how can I make the situation better? So being in Jeffy mode, I'm gonna talk my stuff. So when I asked that question, they gave me a good answer. They just kept telling me, if they keep seeing me out, just stop, holler at them, open up the sunroof, throw the deuces, all the stuff they do. Cause I don't hang out. I don't. I might be out there late to get something to eat, but I'm not driving. And so the reason for this video is, as a black man, I vow to, when I come in contact with a young brother, and if I'm able to talk to him and pass some knowledge on to him, or if I'm able to reciprocate and retain some knowledge from that brother, I would do so. I think the world needs a lot more love than a lot more negativity. And I know it sounds corny, especially if you know me, how I feel about love. But I'm starting to see us young brothers, we kind of losing sight of what it really is. If it's about money, let it be about money. Everything else is second to none almost. Take care of your family, stay healthy, stay on these jobs. If you in the streets, be safe. But there's cameras everywhere, people snitching. Get on these jobs, buy stuff. Even if you buy, like I was telling them young brothers 2 days ago, if you keep buying these nice Nikes and stuff, man, and they hitting me because I got the Tiffany Nikes, and I was in my mode then. I was like, well, I can sell these online and get about 600-700 for them. I got the Tiffany blue ones with the silver stamps on the back, and that's positive game in their world of 2024. So I suggest, and I'm hoping that you will pass knowledge on too. Take this video, share it, like it, and if it's a young brother, young brown brother, Latino brother, you know, Indian brother, get some game from them. Don't be as scared to pass your knowledge on as a black man, because they want to be us. They're doing, we have to, but we have to make better examples for our youth to sustain, anything that we have at this point. All that stuff you see politically, is good. Go to the other side and see what they have to say. But as black men, knowledge is the key. Passion, knowledge. Show a young brother some compassion, some love, and keep it moving. Don't invade their space, but as I think it's our responsibility as men. We have to take a stand sometime or another. It don't have to be a radical one, but just conversate with your people, man. Take a trip. If you don't live where you grew up, take a trip back. Bless your people. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in the city, I buy merch for all the young independent entrepreneurial minded brothers that be out and about. I definitely go to the soul food spots, and I really don't eat it, but I pick it up from my mom's. Baby likes, the kids like it. So support black business. And on a real note, support your neighborhood, no matter what color you are. But black and brown business, support your black and brown business. Because gentrification, I have another video about that coming out, and I'm gonna show you all some visuals of Kansas City and how gentrification is tearing up, taking people houses, forcing people on the Kansas side to move out north, where it still have places where if it gets dark, you might want to go home, even though they had a crossroads shopping mall and everything out there. But as a black man, take this knowledge, pass it on, and from me to you, you know, be safe and be positive. Jeffrey, I am. Like, subscribe, share. We talked about it, and we'll talk later, man.